The cockpit of Air Force One thrummed with mechanical grace. A sea of blinking lights danced across the control panel, their rhythmic flashes painting a quiet symphony of control and power. At 35,000 feet, the aircraft soared with silent dominance, slicing through the cold stratosphere like a steel eagle. Major Daniel Carter, the pilot, sat poised in the captain's chair. A decorated U.S. Air Force veteran with over 2 decades of service, his face bore the calm of experience and the weight of responsibility. His hands rested confidently on the yoke. Beside him, Captain Emily Hayes, young but razor-sharp, monitored the radar, her eyes flicking between data streams with precision. It was another routine, that is, when your passenger was the President of the United States. The calm was broken by a soft click. The cockpit door opened, and the atmosphere shifted instantly. President Donald J. Trump stepped in, flanked by the imposing presence of 2 Secret Service agents, who remained just outside, shadows cast into the narrow space. Trump wore a sharp navy suit, his iconic red tie anchored neatly against his shirt. He adjusted his cufflinks with a practiced motion, his expression a curious mix of confidence and contemplation. "Major Carter," Trump greeted, his voice cutting through the steady hum. "Good to see you." Carter turned slightly in his seat, offering a respectful nod. "Mr. President, an honor, sir." Trump raised a hand, half wave, half command, and leaned forward slightly. "We're over Ohio right now, aren't we?" Carter glanced at the instrument panel. "Yes, sir. Just approaching Columbus airspace, on schedule." Trump's eyes lit up with a spark of sudden inspiration. He stepped further into the cockpit, his voice gaining momentum. "I've got supporters down there. Good people. Patriots. I think we should give them something to remember." He paused, then added, "Let's do a flyover. Columbus. Circle low. Let them see Air Force One cutting across the sky. It'll be a moment they'll never forget." For a beat, silence. Captain Hayes glanced at Carter, her brows slightly raised. Carter felt the weight of command settle fully onto his shoulders. He knew exactly what this request meant. Flyovers sound simple, but on Air Force One, unscheduled deviations weren't just frowned upon. They were borderline impossible without clearance from the FAA, coordination with local air traffic, and a full national security assessment. Every move of this aircraft was tracked, every route approved days in advance. He turned to face Trump, his voice measured but unwavering. "Sir, I understand the sentiment, but that kind of maneuver requires extensive approval, security protocols, flight path alterations. We'd need FAA authorization and Secret Service clearance." Trump's faint smile hardened into something sharper. He stepped even closer. "Major, I'm the President. I'm telling you to do it. Just a quick flyover. It's not a landing. They'd love it. I was elected to serve the people. Don't you think they'd enjoy seeing this bird in the sky?" The pressure in the cabin felt heavier than altitude. Captain Hayes subtly shifted, ready to support her superior if things escalated. Carter met Trump's gaze squarely, heart pounding but mind focused. He had flown combat missions, handled in-flight emergencies, but this was a different kind of turbulence. "With the utmost respect, Mr. President," Carter said, calm as stone, "my first duty is the safety of this aircraft and all aboard, including you. A mid-flight deviation without authorization could trigger alerts across multiple sectors. It's not just risky. It could be misinterpreted by defense systems as a threat." Trump's jaw tightened. His tone edged toward incredulous disbelief. "Are you refusing a direct order from your commander-in-chief?" Carter didn't blink. "I'm refusing an unsafe course of action, sir. If this were cleared through proper channels, I'd execute it without hesitation. But we don't take chances up here. Not with this plane. Not with this crew. Not with your life. A long silence. The tension in the air was electric, raw, unspoken, and suffocating. Outside the cockpit door, the Secret Service agent stiffened, sensing something was off. Hayes's hands hovered above her controls, steady but ready. Then slowly, something shifted in Trump's eyes. Not anger, something else. Respect. He studied Carter for a moment longer, then took a small step back, nodding slightly, lips pursed. "You're a tough one, Major," he muttered, softer now. "I like that. You've got guts and brains. You're doing your job." Carter allowed himself a small breath of relief. "Thank you, Mr. President." Trump adjusted his tie, glancing one last time at the glowing array of instruments. "All right, keep us on course. But next time, maybe we plan that flyover in advance." He turned and stepped out of the cockpit. The door clicked softly shut. The Secret Service agents followed, their shadows disappearing down the narrow hallway. Silence returned. But it was different now. The moment lingered. Carter and Hayes exchanged a look, equal parts relief and pride. "You handled that like a pro," Hayes said quietly. Carter gave a half smile, his eyes already scanning the controls again. "Just another day in the skies," he replied. "But one I won't forget." The engines hummed. The altitude held steady. And Air Force One pressed forward into the blue horizon, untouched, undisturbed, and, most importantly, on course.